friend on her birthday. And she's not a knitter, and she didn't understand quite what the garment was. And I saw her at the yacht club one night, and she was wearing it this way, so that the straight edge was here instead of the V being in front. And I said, let me look at that. And she said, what, is it wrong? You know, did I do something wrong? It's like, no, it was very cute. So I decided to take off on that, and that's what I have done here. So this is, as Flickr was, if you recall it, is Petite Madison and Shimmerati, 4 colors of each, and then some ribbon from the 200 Club, some real shiny, slinky ribbon, which is either flash, which has a little sparkly gold in it, or just slinky or quicksilver. At any rate, the other thing that I did is put a little V-neck in it. So the back side is straight across, but the front side has this little V, which means that it fits better on your shoulder, it's better here around the neck. And then instead of putting a hole here and making it very long, which is what Skyfall was, so that your arm comes through, I kind of seamed it up the side. So that makes it fit more neatly. And it does a really cool thing when you turn sideways. It kind of exposes this. And I don't know, if I get a little bit closer, yes, you can see that a little bit better, what it does there. So you can see the seaming here. And it is a one size fits all. And really, from seam to seam, it's about 30 inches. So it's really quite generous. And it's very drapey, and it's very nice. And because these yarns are being discontinued, I just put together a dozen of the best colorways that I could. So what we're going to do now, we've not put these colors up on the web because they're one of a kind. So you have first choice. You guys have first choice. And then after you, this recording will get sent out to the rest of the mailing list, and they will have next choice. And if there's any left at the end of all of that, then perhaps we'll put them on the website. So we have numbered them, but I'm going to show you one by one the colors so that you can see what's really in each color, if you want to make notes about what the colors are or whatever. So I've got the first 6 up here, and I'm going to start with number 1. This is as close as you can get to what I'm wearing. Okay, it's got these nice autumny colors in the Petite Madison. It's got a deep green, tealy green ribbon, and then this migrated to over, I don't know where it migrated to. Okay, somewhere around here there's a 4th one of these. I don't know where it went, but guaranteed there will be a 4th one in there. So this is as close as what I have. Now I will tell you that about this pattern, it doesn't say do, you do 4 rows of each color. And so you don't have to deal with ends. At the end of every 4th row, when you tie a new one on, you just tie it on, and that becomes the fringe, which I chose to then augment with another strand in every single row, so that I have a nice big lush fringe that, excuse me, that that I've twisted, because I really like that. That twisted cord. Oh, there you can kind of see it against the table.
I'd like to say something too, Laura. This is, you know, an opportunity to see Laura's new designs, but it's also like in-person shopping when she does these groupings of colors. So for anybody wanting these colors, just put it in the chat that you want number 1 or number 4 or number 5, or open up, unmute yourself and just say, this is so-and-so and I want this color. Yeah. And this is called the Festival Topper. Yeah. Okay, Laura.
And just so that if anyone is interested in that twisted fringe, we do stock those twisters, the two tab twisters. That little gizmo is in the store.
Yes.
All right.
And if you want to wait until you've seen all 6, I'm going to have to push these out of the way to bring the other 6 up. I mean, until you've seen all 12. You know, unless you see something that somebody is like, oh my God, I have to have that one right now. Well, claim it. But we can revisit each colorway once all 12 of them are up here. It'll just be a little jockeying to do that. So I've kind of pushed number 1 out of the way, and we're going to look at number 2 now. And this is really grays and reds and blacks and burgundy and plum. And number 3 is what I call light brights. So it's jewel tone. Wait, I have to get this so I don't fall off of it. There we go. It's jewel tones with some gold and a good strong fuchsia in the ribbon. Very pretty colors. This is a really fun stitch to do. In order to get the flame stitchness of it, you're carrying stitches, slip stitches for 3 rows. This is kind of a take on Nevada or Tahoe. This is a very fresh, springy, light brights. And this one is as close to tumbleweed as I could get, one of my all-time best-selling colors. I like this one a lot. If it doesn't go, I might keep it for myself. But lavenders and sage green and mint green. Okay. So that was the easy part with those, the first 6. Now I'm going to come up with the others. So, wow. 7 is a true neutrals kind of a thing here. Light and dark neutrals. Predominant black is the ribbon. And I'd like you all to remember, and it's a little hard to tell in this one because this is, these are all kind of similar in tone, but this particular stitch looks really good with contrasts. So when you have a range like this where you've got a light and a dark kind of thing going on, it actually is fabulous for that. This is number 8. This is denim-ish, but it's got a little more purpley stuff in it than just plain denim. So it's a lot of blues, light and dark blues, and some nice plums and lavenders. Stay.
These colors are beautiful, Laura.
This is also a very rich, nice one. You know, there's always the risk when you put red and purple together that you're going to look like the red hat lady, but I don't think that I did that here. It's got a lot of deep plum, some true violet, a lot of gray, and a little bit of that burgundy in it. And this one is fairly similar to that, but they're not quite as pure of colors. And there is some embers in it and melon in it.
Oh, that is recyclable. Huh? Good.
So it is
All right.
Just a little different.
It is.
Somebody is not muted. You might want to do that.
So I've had a few questions. One, this is called the Festival Poncho, and the
Yeah.
kit retails at $324. And Laura, we had a question as to needle size. Is there?
Yeah, it was an 8 or a 9. I mean, it's a fairly large needle, and you want to have it not be dense. You want that nice drape to it. So it's
Terrific.
yeah. Here's another one that I'm really fond of. It's a lot of neutrals. Has that nice mustardy gold in it for accent, and the ribbon is actually flash, and it's a beautiful olivey green. And just one more. And then I think, as anybody is particularly interested, I'll bring it in front of me and unpile them so you can actually see the colors, if that makes any sense. This last one is essentially fog, and most of you know my color fog. It's light gray and plum and a steely blue gray, and that's very lovely. Okay.
Peggy Barefoot.
Have we any questions for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could I see number 9 and number 2?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
And
Somebody had to jump in and do it.
number 11 is gone.
Number 11 is gone. Okay. I did a really smart thing. I just have bags here so I can pick them right up and put them in. All right. Number 11 is a goner. All right. And okay, that makes it easier for me to find number. Okay, number 9 and number 2. I'm going to push this one way out of the way. So here is number 9. So we have, and forgive me, I know so many of you know my colors. So we've got Pansy, which is a great, it's better. There we go. A beautiful deep violet, and Mulberry, which is redder, and Cabernet and Winterfell, which is violets and gray. The ribbon is Flash, and it's this gorgeous Violetta. And then those 4 colors of Shimmerati. So I would say it's mostly purple with accents of gray and deep red.
I'll take 9.
Okay.
And I still want to see 2.
Okay.
And number 1 is gone.
Okay. Let me get number 1 off just so there's room. Okay, number 2 is a much brighter version of what we just looked at, because it's got true red in it, hot pink and red. And then it's got plum and gray. And again, Cabernet, Shadow, Wine Sap, which is the deep burgundy, and Pansy, so that good violet. But you've got the great accent of that fuchsia, strong fuchsia Flash, and then the Shimmerati playing back and forth between all of those.
It's pretty. Thank you. I'm going to keep with 9 at the moment and still
Okay.
thinking about the other.
I'm just going to put that there. Anybody else want me to review one?
Number 4.
Number 4. Yeah, I just have to look around and see where everything is. 3, 4. Yes, number 4 is a beauty. That's another one. The hardest thing, and Fontel can probably agree with this, when you own a yarn company or a yarn shop, it's wanting everything for yourself. So this has there's the one that was missing from the other one. Okay, that goes down to the one that was missing. So this has olive and teals in the Shimmerati, this fabulous avocado ribbon, And then this great range of greens and teals and mochas. So that is number 4.
There's one that's right in the front. Is that number 3 or, there?
Yes,
That's-
number 3. Brighter colors. So not too dissimilar from what I'm wearing, but brighter. Teals, fuchsias, jade green, raspberry, fuchsia ribbon. So really strong contrast in there.
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting, because I'm not sure, I'm using my husband's computer. There's one that's to your right, far right, and has some orange in it.
Yep.
I'll take that one.
Okay, you want to see it again?
Yep.
I love this one.
Yep.
First of all, I love this color. This color is zinnia, which is reads as apricot, but really it's pink over sort of a cantaloupe. So it's a really rich, interesting, and you have it reinforced between a petite Madison and the ribbons. And then those are all your petite Madisons. And great, it's a great one.
I will take that one, which is, I'm sorry,
Okay, that's number 5.
number
And-
5.
Number 5, and who is taking number 5?
Bobby. Heather,
Heather.
And I have to apologize, the chat is just not working. So just please ask questions out loud. Yeah, I can get the chat to work. My apologies.
oh,
I have a
me,
question.
Technology, these things happen. So I'm just gonna, I have room, so I'm gonna kind of pull these back out here. And just unmute yourself and say if you want to see something.
So number 6, can we look at that again? I think that's the
Hang on.
tumbleweed one.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
So question while you're doing that. I love the yarns, but I'm not crazy about the poncho-y look for me.
Mhm.
What else could I do with it?
You could certainly make a jacket. I mean, you could just do a linen stitch jacket. It would be absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay.
You could do our old friend, well, you could do can you guys see this one?
Kinda.
This we did last year called the Everything Ruana. And it just uses lots of different yarns in a half linen stitch, again with the change. In this case, you change it every 2 rows, and you can easily put a sleeve on that, and there's enough yarn to do that with sleeves. So I mean, there was yarn left over.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see how wide this is, and it's almost the length of a sleeve. So with yarn that's left over and it's a little more of a shape, you could definitely do a jacket.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're on number 6, which is actually some tumbleweed in here. So it's one skein of tumbleweed, and then thyme and the lavender. So all those good tumbleweedy colors. 2 lovely skeins of a sage green, and then so that's your effect.
And is someone claiming number 6?
Someone's thinking.
Thinking.
Someone thinking, okay, thinking is good. Okay.
Number 1 has already been claimed. So.
Yeah.
One is gone. The one that's next closest to number 1 is this one, I guess. Although it's bright, it's definitely brighter.
So if you are going to purchase these, we have your names and so forth, but you'll just go online to the website and and purchase it through the website, and then in your notes, remind us what color number you're getting. So I've got a list, but just say, you know, for example, Teresa, I want this and I want number 1. So
Laura, could you
Yeah.
show us please numbers 4 and 7?
Yep.
Thank you.
As soon as I figure out where they are.
That's great.
Okay, here's 7.
7's the neutral.
7 is the neutrals. This really is a luscious. So the neutrals cover a full gamut from light to dark. The Petite Madisons cover a gamut from light to dark. And then black is the ribbon in it. So what you're going to get is a very powerful statement of pattern with a very restrained statement of color. Okay, that's 7, and 2 was the other one?
4.
4. Oh yeah, 4. 4 is pretty yummy as well. All right. So in a similar vein to the tumbleweed one, except darker. So it's got more color. It's deeper in tone, bronze, teal, spruce, with this really hot avocado as an accent, and then a full range of teal and olive shimmeratis. So don't get scared by that mustardy, that avocado green, because it's not going to show up that much, right? It's every like the ribbon is here, and then again it's here, and then it's here, and then it's here. So they're spaced 4 inches apart, so you're only getting the occasional stripe of it. And I think that in this case, that avocado green is really going to make the pattern shine. You're really going to be able to see the pattern well.
That's the best part.
Although you do have to love it. Not saying you have to, I'm just saying one has to.
I think I want that one.
Which one?
Would you believe it?
This one?
Barbara Rose, number 4.
Oh yeah, this is you. This
I
is
did
it.
it.
I approve. Absolutely.
Okay.
You know how you say to me, which one should I do?
Okay.
This is the one.
Sometimes you answer me and sometimes you don't.
Well, this time I would. This one is definitely a good one for you.
A little bit different, which is good.
Yes. And no purple.
No blue reds either.
Nope, no blue reds either.
Which one is 3, or is 3 gone?
I'm sorry, what?
Number 3? Is 3 gone?
That's 2.
10.
10.
Nope, number 3 is still here. This is number 3.
Oh.
Does it have flash in it?
It does. Well, it doesn't have flash. It has slinky.
But number 2 has flash?
Number 2 has flash.
Okay, I want number 2. Jill.
I could, if you want flash, I could just trade them.
Really?
Yeah, if you like those colors better, I'll just trade the flash.
Which one's better for me?
Who's me?
Jill.
Jill,
Yeah.
the one, this one, the
3?
brighter one,
Yeah.
the first one, Jill. That looks like you.
I don't know. I think I like the colors that way.
Yeah, I agree, actually,
Yeah.
Laura. This is
Yeah.
Teresa. I think the fuchsia looks better there.
Better here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I spent a lot of time on these, so.
I like
And I'm
flash.
afraid that the hot pink in
Flash.
here is going to be too much.
Mhm.
I think the red is better. So we're going to keep those the way they are.
Going to do number 2 or number 3?
I gotta have flash.
Just have flash.
So number 2.
Or number 2.
I think so.
Number 2. Okay. Number 2 it is. Okay.
You know, let me, give me 1 second here.
Oh, see, we're gonna cut.
Can we get the pattern for the Ruana too?
Yeah, because I'd rather have the Ruana, I think.
I'm sure that Laura would be agreeable to that.
Just make a note of whatever patterns you want.
Okay. Yeah, so again, just order it online and say, please send both patterns, or the Rwana as well as the topper.
Okay, that's number 2.
There any other questions? I'm so sorry about the chat, because I actually like typing in the chat. But if you have any questions, holler.
The chat opens just fine for me.
Yeah, for some reason, it will not open right for me. It's weird.
What happens is when she clicks on it, we lose the screen. Like right now, we can't see anything, so
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Mhm.
it's a bit
All
of a
right.
That's
complication.
beautiful colors.
This
too.
one is gorgeous.
Oh, that's gorgeous, yes.
It is gorgeous. I'm just trying to, since we're down, I'm trying to bring things back into view in case anybody's missed anything. That's what's left.
What number is the one you just touched in the
This
front?
one,
Yeah.
number 6.
It's
That's the
beautiful.
tumbleweedy one.
Oh, yeah. There's Shimarati in that one, or I mean Flash in that one.
No, it's Slinky.
Okay, I'm good then. Thanks. More sparkle, the better.
Well, there's merit to that.
We know people like that.
Absolutely. Okay.
I don't know who you'd be talking about.
Well, I will say this. Okay, from what's left, that could go in there, which will tweak it more to the purples. And there's your flash. These are not, however, going to go over here. I'll find something else for that. Going once. Going twice. Okay.
There we go.
I'm going to put these in a box in such a way that I can retrieve them at the end. If anybody gets to the end and says, you know, I'm really sorry I didn't do that, we can come back and revisit it. Okay, so give me just a moment here to put them in an organized way. All right, now I'm going to take this box out of the way so I don't trip on it, but it's just going over here. Okay, and then I'm going to step off screen for a moment and change clothes.
Oh, she's back. All righty, well, now
We
Laura.
had a lot of fun in Seattle with this ribbed tee, which many of you will remember, in Everett, sorry. with this rib tee. And at the time, I had this one on the needles. And the big difference is not just the colorway, but the length of the sleeve. So just to review, and I'm going to show you a couple other of the 200 Club items as well. This isn't really a new pattern. This is just the 3/4 sleeve version of this pattern. This one takes, this little short one takes 6 to 8 skeins. This takes 8 to 10 skeins. 10 skeins will let you do a long sleeve if you want, or make it a little bit longer. This is a, you know, quite a cropped sweater at this point. I've decided that maybe I'd like it a little bit longer for myself. Oh no, you know, it's not bad, is it? Well, maybe I like it like this. And so I did bring some other 200 Club items, but mostly I have decided to put together new colorways because I have found new qualities of yarn in amongst all the inventory. So there is now a bigger variety of textures. And B, I've had some special requests, so I've been dyeing up a storm. So I made some new colorways.
Laura, could you take a moment for anybody on here who's not familiar with 200 Club?
Yes, I should have done that.
Yeah, because we have quite a few people in here that, yeah.
So the 200 Club is an idea that I came up with specifically for the event that we had in Everett in August. That is a really good idea. And that is, I have lots and lots and lots of yarns in the studio that we never used as a single yarn. So it was never named and promoted or anything. Or there's not really enough left of that yarn to make a model so that people will buy the sweaters, because I'm going to run out sooner or later of that yarn. Even though there is in fact plenty of it, what I decided to do was make every skein of yarn gauge compatible. So they're all gauge compatible. They're all, each skein of yarn, regardless of what the weight of it is 200 yards. And they're all the same price. So you can mix and match. You can select by colorway and let me mix and match within that colorway all the different yarn textures that will work to make a really rich sweater. So I'm going to hop up here again, because realizing that the darkness, it's a much richer colorway than you can see from back there, at least on my screen. It's looking kind of dark. So you can see that there's little difference in textures. Alternate smooth and bumpy yarn. It's a rib. This is a 4x4 rib, so it's got a nice stretch across the bust without being too tight, and then it comes in a little bit at the waist. And this is done according to a Fibonacci sequence, all of which is spelled out in the pattern. So as is the green one. So you can see the green one on the mannequin. There's a lot. It's kind of one colorway. It's olive greens, but there's more contrast. There's more lights and darks. Whereas this one, there's not a lot of contrast, lights and darks. There's more contrast in the colors. So some of the colorways that are shown under the 200 Club on the website have a lot of contrast, and some have less contrast. Okay. So does that make sense to everybody? Any questions about that before I go further? I'm realizing it looks better if you can see me with that behind me. So at any rate, I made some new colorways, and I thought that it would be fun to put them up. I'm not going to show the older colorways. I'm just showing the newest ones. So those of you who have seen them are seeing new. Those of you who haven't seen them, well, you're going to get an idea of what they are. So this one is fog. Self-explanatory. Then we have Tutti Frutti.
So this sweater is called the 200 Club Ribbed Tee.
Yes. Tutti Frutti, which is all these fabulous spring, bright, cheery colors. Oceania. I just went on an Oceania cruise. Made sense, but it really is. This beautiful oceany colors.
Oh my gosh, those are beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? Then this was a special request for someone, and I was so taken with it that I decided that, yep, it needs to be its own colorway. So this is Spring Leaves. And Fleur.
Mm.
So I thought that that was a very nice range of colors moving into spring. The last time I did the colors, it was kind of for fall, and this is just a nice group of colors. You don't have to claim these right here. This is just for you to see them. And I'm going to show you a couple other things you can do. So 6 to 8 skeins to do the short sleeved, 8 to 10 skeins to do the 3/4 sleeved, maybe 12 skeins if you're a larger size and you want a full length sleeve. Just reminding you all of this one, which is a fabulous little piece. And all of these are on the website. So anything that you're taken with in the 200 Club, these are all the same thing, all from those. And it tells you under each style how many skeins you need. Although you could be jotting it down as I'm saying, because, and again, remembering that we're all about getting exactly what you want. So if you're not sure, just contact Fontel. And if she needs to contact me, she will. And we'll discuss what it is you need. So.
Can you tell us the name again of the short sleeve one?
It's the 200 Club Ribbed Tee.
Okay, thank you.
And I will tell you that the small runs about $192 and the large to exit. So it's a small medium, 192, and the large, extra large is 240, just to give you an idea.
So it's all a little discounted, you know. I mean, it's a lot of sweater that you're getting for not as much money as you would if they were all branded yarns. So I'm going to change my clothes again.
Laura, what about the colors that you have on?
I'm going to bring this back and put it out here. This is really autumn.
I love
But
that.
if you really wanted it as close to this as possible, you can say, like Laura's model.
Okay.
Okay, and then I can do that.
So again, just to remind you, when you're on the website and you go under the presentations and you look and you see the 200 Club, click on that picture and that will show you all the models, including both of these pullovers, as well as the wrap that she just showed you, all the different things that you can do with the 200 Club. There you
Okay.
go, Dolores. That's gorgeous.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, some of you may remember, and those who haven't seen it won't remember because you haven't seen it, this little jacket that I called Coco a Go-Go, which is a great jacket. And the defining interest in this jacket is that with the vertical stripes, without having to have those long fringes, this has trimmed fringe just like a Chanel style jacket. And there's a very specific way of stabilizing the edge and knotting it so that you can just trim it off short like this. So we did this, and what I realized is that it's very specific in its colorway and its stripes. And also because it's so symmetrical in its stripes, it didn't use yarn very efficiently, and it took 14 skeins, so it got fairly expensive. So I decided to do a variation. And you're gonna laugh at me because this only has one sleeve. But that's because Karen Fontel saw it and said, it's a really cute vest. So you can see it as a vest, or you can see it as a jacket. And this is in there as a close-up of this. So this is its own colorway, because this is an interesting colorway. And I'll get it again up close to you. It is, I called it Spring Dawn. It's a lot of grays and taupes with just these really yummy pastels, almost sherbety pastels that do not get too sweet because of all the gray and taupe in it. So I will tell you a funny story about me. I like this with this little shawl pin put in. Okay, so the funny story about me is that I thought, I would like it a little shorter than this because a true Chanel jacket is shorter. So I decided to cast on for the small. Now, I used the same needle size. I know that because I keep copious notes on that, but I did not recheck my gauge. Well, I was obviously far more relaxed when I did this one because the Ewer stitches is 2 inches longer. As Perry said, and so goes my knitting. So just in case you all, A, wonder if it's only you, it isn't, and B, want to know why we always say, check your gauge, check your gauge, check your gauge, check your gauge. Who knew? I never knew. I never knew that I had that kind of variation. At any rate, so this is a little bit more drapey because the stitch gauge got a little bit bigger than this one. And check your gauge, check your gauge, check your gauge. So both the bottom of the sleeve and the bottom of the hem have that little tiny fringe. And I'm really liking this a lot. And I love, personally, this sleeve length. There is plenty of yarn to make it a full length sleeve or even a little bit longer. I like this because I'm forever pushing my sleeves up. I decided that was silly. I'd just soon have the sleeves be there. And so I'm comfortable with that. And I like to wear bracelets. So it works out really great for me. It's not necessarily what's perfect for you. That's why we knit for ourselves, because we get to do all those different things. So this one now, instead of taking the 14 that jacket took, I used 12 because I wasn't sure how far it would go. 10 is plenty. 10 will give you this plenty and in a bigger size as well. I have a
And
lot.
that would look great over anything.
This is fabulous. That's right. It would look great over anything. I mean, it's a great jacket.
I had bought a lot of Eileen Fisher solids, top and bottom.
Yeah, exactly. And it's rare to see me wearing pants, right? And here I am in pants. Usually I have on an Eileen Fisher style dress with 3/4 sleeves or short sleeves, and it's just a simple dress to my knees, and this is perfect over the top of that. So do I have any questions about this or any of the 200 Club items? I did put this one up, the old Everything Ruana, because it would be perfect for 200 Club yarns. In fact, it may be the next thing that I do, that exact same pattern. We did it with a different array of yarns that we picked when we did the warehouse event, or you let me put them together again. But yeah, that's a really good, simple thing that you can do with the 200 Club yards.
And also with the ones that we just bought, the other ones.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely, you can. You absolutely could.
So Laura, I have a question. The first group, I think you said it was called fog, but I'm not seeing that color. There's a color listed.
Oh, I called it
clouds.
clouds. Did I call it clouds?
That's probably it.
Yeah, it's clouds.
Because on the, at least my computer, it looks more blue.
It is
and
more blue. It
here
doesn't
looks
really.
a little
yeah.
more gray. So that's why I
Blue
was
and gray.
curious.
It doesn't really have the plum in it. That's why I decided that fog
Okay.
was the wrong name, but I forgot to change my cheat sheet. So yes, it's really clouds. Or cloud, whatever I said. Yeah. That is it.
Okay, great. All right. That clarifies.
Laura, I'm knitting your diagonal shell as we speak with what I got out in, there you go. Can you see that?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm pinned, so maybe toward the end, show me again. So
I will, no problem.
okay. And if Susan Howard is on, she had a question that she emailed me about, so I will address it with everyone. And she said, what do I do with all the ends when you're knitting when you're knitting here? We've talked about the ends. The ends are fringed, but when you're knitting this, how do you deal with all those different yarns? Do you have to cut and bury them? So is there anyone who doesn't know what wild stuff is? So briefly, it's a bunch of yarns tied together, and when you're knitting with it, you just ignore the fact that they're tied together, and wherever the knot falls, the knot falls.
Oh, it's here.
Okay, so when you're doing, this is so funny, I just can't come up with a better way to do this and not have this big
I'm
table.
just so glad you can do it.
Hey, I joined a gym and I've been working out, so I'm going to guarantee that I can keep being able to do it.
I'm so happy.
So what I realized is, okay, we're working Fibonacci stripes, and that means that you're doing 1 row or 2 rows or 3 rows or 5 rows. I think that's all that's in here. I don't think you go to A. So 1, 2, 3, or 5. And so at the end of every row, you're not going to use that yarn again for quite some time. So you don't want to be carrying all those up the side because you're going to get a really lumpy, bumpy side seam. You also don't want to cut and tie them at the side edge because now you're going to have to sew those all in afterwards, and that's kind of a pain. So what I have decided is okay to do is work to within 4 stitches of the end, 6 stitches of the end, cut and tie the new one then. Wherever the knot falls in those next 6 stitches is okay. And then you turn the end of the row and go across and do whatever you have to do, and then you cut it again. So on the edge, and you can't, so the seam is right here.
Mm.
And sometimes the yarn doesn't change for 3 stitches. But can you see that?
No.
No, you cannot see that. So on the inside, what that means is that you have all these little knots, just like you would have in wild stuff, but they're not all right on the seam, and they're not all right on top of each other. So it makes for a very comfortable, perfectly acceptable burying of the yarns. They're just not a problem. And because, okay, we all know that you don't tie knots in nice, smooth, bouncy Clyde wool yarn, because what's going to happen? That knot's going to pop out. But in these textured yarns, they don't pop out. They just don't. So that is a really easy way to do the Fibonacci without worrying about, oh my God, what am I going to do with all those ends? Because I don't want to deal with them either. And I knit that entire thing that way, and it worked like a charm. So
It's magic.
yes, it is
Very
magic.
cool.
It is it's a really cool
Is
thing.
this a square knot?
I just take the 2 ends together and make an overhand knot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then later on, when it's all over and done with, and you don't even have to worry about doing it close to the end. There's lots of yarn. So do it comfortably, and then
It'll
later
pull
on,
one way or the other, yeah.
later on, go back and cut them at about, leaving about 1/4 of an inch tail.
Before you pull the whole thing out.
Or what?
Before you pull the whole thing out.
Or you pull the whole thing out? Well, right. You're not gonna, don't be pulling the whole thing out. Okay. Then, I don't know that anybody's thought far enough ahead on this. So this is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. What I'm wearing is pretty easy, right? It's just side to side. It's 2 rows of every color. You're cutting and tying down at the bottom, all smooth, clean, easy. Yeah, well, the sleeve is tapered, which means that you've got cuts in there. Well, okay, there's an easy way to deal with that too. Again, I don't like the bulk of sewing all those ends in. So again, I knotted them, and I knotted them at the edge, and then I just braided them.
Okay.
Just braided them and tie a little knot. So there's a knot at the beginning, beginning and end of the row. Then it's a little braid, and then it's knotted again. And it just keeps them all neat and tidy. And when you're wearing it, you don't even know they're there. It's no worse than burying them,
Yeah.
right? No worse at all. So, okay. You didn't know there were knitting lessons too.
What was that jacket that you just had in your hand?
The same thing I'm wearing.
And what's the name on it?
Coco a Go-Go.
Oh, Coco and Go-Go. Okay, yeah.
And is that spring dawn you're wearing? Is that what you
I'm
said,
sorry?
the color? The color you have on,
Yes.
is that spring dawn?
Yes, this is spring
Thank
dawn.
you. Is there
And-
sparkle in it?
Is what?
Is there sparkle in it?
Absolutely. There's some dazzle in it, and there's some flash in it. Yes.
I thought I could see it, but
Yeah,
wanted
here.
to make sure.
I'll get it up close to you.
Oh yeah, lots of sparkle.
So Susan also asked me, and so I will answer it to everybody. She said it's harder for her to knit on the really fuzzy and bumpy yarns. So could she get smooth yarns? Yes, absolutely. If you want lots of sparkle, tell me you want lots of sparkle. If you want smooth yarns, tell me you want smooth yarns. I can absolutely tweak these any way that you want. And the only thing that might happen is you might get, so if you need 10 skeins, you might get 1 or 2 yarns where there's double skeins of that yarn. Just because if I'm not putting anything bumpy in, I'm limiting what I can put in. But I'm happy to do that. And there is some Shimmerati left. So if anybody wants sequins added, you could always buy a skein of Shimmerati. Just say, make it to go with my color scheme. And then you can cut out one of the colors, one of the skeins of 200 Club.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yeah. Very nice.
All right.
So, Laura, are we going to go to Agatha now? Or are you?
Oh, I forgot about Agatha. Yes.
Agatha,
I'm so excited about these. I
sits
forgot
over
all
here
about
all by
Agatha.
her lonely little self.
I know. It's a good thing I wrote it all out, right?
Yep. And you've got colors, so.
Yes. We'll go to Agatha now. Okay.
All right. So while Laura is clearing her table, I'm going to show you the Agatha model. And Agatha takes 2 contrasting colors of Petite Madison. And this whole thing is just done with slip stitches. So it's got a really defined pattern over here. But then as you go through the striping, look at how you get the little twirls of color going through. This, and for those of you that are familiar with Petite Madison, it's really just a luscious, luscious yarn to work with. And this is gorgeous on, so. I'm sorry that I'm wearing black, but I'm gonna get right up to the camera, so there.
Beautiful.
It's really, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece, so.
The weight of this yarn, if you haven't used Petite Madison, the weight of this yarn is luscious. You know, it's lightweight, it's drapey, it's merino and silk
And cashmere.
and-
cashmere, yeah.
All the good stuff here.
So it's beautiful.
And it takes 2 skeins to do this.
Wow.
So you get the 2 skeins and the pattern. So this piece is $84. And so Laura's put some gorgeous colors together here, so.
Again, because we're running low on Petite Madison, I kind of went in and did a range of colors that I think work really well. So I will, I'll hold them up. And again, having done these, I'm pretty sure I got to get the pattern and do one myself. Okay, so we have Huron, which is teal, and Adobe. This is going to have a similar effect to the one that Fontel did, although it's a little stronger in contrast. But it's this warm peachy color and a dark color. And this would also have something of the same. It's spruce, which is the dark green, and then Sedona. Now, Fontel used both solids, but
Right.
I can see the main color being this, and then the other color being something like this, and that being a very interesting look if you feel, experimental. So along those lines, a deep blue and a cream and light blue, or a deep tealy green and a cream and brighter green. We have Twilight, which is really deep multicolors and mustard.
Mm,
Spruce and thyme, deep
pretty.
deep green and sagey green. Aegean and tamarack. Tamarack being teal and navy and plum. This is beautiful. Plumberry, deep plum, and hydrangea.
I'll take that.
Francine?
Yep.
Okay,
I've also got the number 9 from the first one.
gotcha. And again, Laura, that was the color that Francine is getting?
Hydrangea and plumberry. And I'm also writing it on my list here.
All right, gotcha.
Okay. This is a fun one. Juniper, which is a deep green, and Ecot citrus. So if you're a yellow and yellow-green person, that would be very fun, I think. Here we are. I can't get away from purple and green somehow. So we have spruce and periwinkles. And periwinkles is, mostly lavender, but it's got a little bit of light and dark in it. And not too far from the beaten path, it all goes back to tumbleweed, is bracken and the 309, which is, these are tumbleweed colors.
You've got to have that light and dark for that pattern to work out too.
Yes, you have to have, you do have to.
You have to have a
This
contrast.
one is going to be as subtle as it gets because there's not a lot of light and dark, but there is a big hue difference. So it's going to be more subtle, but it will work. This has more contrast. Okay,
Yeah.
It's deep purple and a stronger.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, this I think is beautiful too. This is nice. The taupey mushroom and mulberry. So they're deep burgundy and mushroom.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
sienna and pansy. And this one's also real similar to Fontel's. Melon and bark. So that's a deep.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
I'll
Mel.
take that one.
Who's that?
And I would like that the autumn sweater. The previous,
Okay, that's just place an order. I can put that one together.
okay,
So Dolores, are you getting the melon and bark?
Yep.
yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, now, does anybody want to see any of these closer? I can go across the table.
You have the Aegean and it's to your right, second Aegean and whatever that color was. I
Yeah,
didn't
Dean
get
and
the color.
Tamarack, and you really do need to see this one more up close because the Tamarack is such a dark color. So here I come.
I love it. Oh, that's, yeah.
Mhm. And there'll be enough contrast on that one.
Yeah, there's enough contrast in there.
Pretty.
That taupe and the the berry color was also beautiful.
Mushroom and mulberry.
Yep.
Mhm.
Could you show the one that's your upper left there? The looks like it's was that the Sedona? That yes, that the one, no, the other one. Not that one, the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What
the Huron and the Adobe.
Huron and Adobe. I'll take that. This is Barbara.
Where is the one with the white? You had a little bit of white in it.
Is it right in front of you?
Could be
there's
right
a
there.
couple. There's a couple. There's this one. So this will be very denim-y. It's got a deep blue and then a light lighter
I'll
blue.
take that one. I'll take that one.
Who's that?
That Linda Hoff.
Okay. Okay. But the other ones that had there was this one, the deep green with, and then this one, which is kind of wacky crazy. But take the right person way. It'd be fun.
It's Easter.
Could I see the Aegean again?
The Aegean and Tamarack. Yep.
Okay. I'll take that. This is Laurel Kalita.
Laura.
Laurel.
Laurel Colito.
Laura, could you show the spruce and thyme again? This is Nancy.
Yep.
Nice.
Fontel, by any chance, could you show a different way to wrap that
Sure.
Agatha scarf?
Heck yeah.
Pin
So-
you, Fontel.
Oh, pin me.
Pin you.
So Laura, do you only like the ones that you're showing today? Are you down to the last skeins or would you have another Aegean and Tamarack?
That is the only one.
Okay.
There are some things I might have duplicates on, but that's definitely the only one of that. Okay, Fontel, you need to pin yourself. There you go.
There you go. Okay, so this is it. I mean, I like this because it shows this particular pattern stitch to it.
Mhm.
And again, you know, a little shell pin will do wonders, but you can also, you know, with the wing,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you.
and of course you can wear it as, you know, just as a wrap as well. So, but it really is, the shape of this is a wing. It is not, you know, it's triangular, but it really is a wing. So you have a wider end and then a shorter end.
So Fontel, what happens if you put the deep V in front?
Well, that's where it was. Yeah.
Oh, that's where it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Then with the other one wrapped around it. Yeah.
Put this on, you know, leave it on
Yeah.
top.
Or tuck it under, yeah.
or tuck it under.
Yeah.
Yeah, or anchor it with it, yeah. Or anchor it with a pin too.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I did a
There we go.
wacky job.
But still. So you can almost, you know, as more like a shoulder cover. So
This yarn, when knitted, as we were saying before,
Yeah.
it's lightweight and it lends itself to going underneath something besides
Sure.
being on top because it's, you know, it's not real thick. It's lightweight in the weight of it, I guess, in the gauge of it, and also in the feel of it. It's just silky. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you
wonderful drape,
have
no
knit-
bite,
yeah.
no nothing to it.
Yeah.
It's real, has lovely yardage and great combination of fibers.
No, it's a
for
great
sure.
price, for
Yeah.
sure.
Laura, this is Bobby Tether. Could I see the very first one that you showed? It has kind of the orange and the green.
Yes,
Yep. I'll take that one.
okay.
What is
I'm sorry,
what's the
and this
name of
was
that one?
This is the Sedona Bracken.
Okay. All
And
right,
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Bobby Tether.
Bobby Tether.
Okay. I know Fontel's getting these names. This is just
I'm
bad.
hoping.
Laura,
Yes,
this is Nancy Dowdy. May I have that also, the Sedona and the one you just held up?
yeah, there's no more Sedona.
No
That was the
more,
last-
okay.
Last skein is
Okay.
Sedona.
And you
If
had is it
you-
periwinkle and spruce?
If you like, do you like rose? This is real melony. Do you like rosy colors?
No, not really.
Okay, then never mind.
Okay.
Somebody wants
All
to
right.
see spruce and periwinkle.
Spruce, no, it's bracken and periwinkle. No, spruce and periwinkle, right. This
There we
one.
go.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah,
Oh, that
that's
is pretty.
that's the spruce periwinkle.
That'd be pretty knit up in this.
Mm-hmm. And there's also spruce with thyme, and that's the
Yeah.
little lighter one.
Yeah, not as interesting.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's very tailored, but now it's very specific. It's green.
Mm-hmm.
Fontel, what color did you use?
I used ebony and was it sienna, copper? Kind of like Laura, what you have right by your hip with the purple, that one, yeah. Only I used ebony. That's gorgeous too.
Mhm.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay. No more takers?
I would take
It's
that.
hard to decide.
Periwinkle. Oh, okay, one at a time.
By your knee, the spruce and periwinkle. Is that what that is? By your knee.
This one?
No. The other one.
Okay, and that's for,
No, the
The other
one.
one. I think it's tumbleweed, Laura. There we
this
go.
one.
Oh. Oh,
Behind you.
no, that's the right one.
This is the right one?
Those two sets that are right in front of you, that one or the one by your other knee.
Okay,
There we go.
Oh,
Uh,
well,
The one in your left hand.
this one. That's the closest to tumbleweed.
Okay. I liked that and the other pile of things too. Mary Ellen,
Okay,
thank you.
why am I not seeing it? Bracken and there it is. Okay. There we go. Okay.
And what is is it a darker plum there right by your hand? Yeah, it's in your left hand, yeah. Versus, yeah, it's a darker plum, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's darker and then that really strong olivey
Olivey.
green. Yeah.
Can you hold the periwinkle one up next to you? They're just very different. Hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
This poor computer, the camera doesn't know what to do with the, look what it does to my face when I get it up here.
But the yarn looks great.
Yeah, that looks great.
And you look
It's
like
just
you have a
deciding for that contrast.
They know.
They almost would look pretty swapped out with the periwinkle and the mustardy
That's what
one
I was
together and
thinking.
the
Yeah,
other.
it is.
And those other two
No.
together.
Not enough contrast there.
Right.
It
You're
won't
right.
work. But this is
But I
nice.
do like that one.
That's fine. I don't have any problem with trading it out.
That periwinkle is pretty.
I think I'm gonna go for that combo.
Okay, so we have to write this as
Yeah,
a new
sure.
one. It's cypress and periwinkle.
Send it over to his family, see if they know where he is.
And whose voice am I hearing? That sounds familiar.
Teresa.
That's what I thought. Okay.
You don't really think he killed those people? I'm afraid we do.
Whoops.
Dave was a good boy,
Somebody needs to mute.
smart boy. He was going to be an engineer or maybe a doctor, like Rita.
Hello.
And then
Let's see if I
was
can.
that girl. She ruined him. What girl?
Okay. I need to, Laura, I need to ask Linda Hoff what colors she got.
The blue jay and Ecot blue, I think.
Because of
This
her.
one.
That was his choice, not hers.
Linda, is that what
It
you
was the
got?
blue with,
What was
yes,
the
it was
last
the
one?
blue
Yeah.
with the whites and
The
This
blue
morning,
So
jay.
it says
Right.
blue jay,
I got it.
I
Ecot.
know to ask for a loan.
40,000.
Whoever's
Can you
husband
believe
is
it?
talking,
I
can
hung
you
up.
mute yourself? Thank you.
Okay, so that's Linda's. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any last?
Yes, this is Barbara again. So the one that's the purple and the other one that's right by your top right hand. I just picked up the heron and the adobe. Oh, I do like that one too. Pick up the heron and adobe again. Huh. Do I need them both?
Well, they're not the same thing. They really aren't the same.
Yes,
Absolutely.
you need them both because they're not going to happen again.
Okay, I need them both. Okay.
Make it for somebody.
So
Yes.
Adobe and Huron.
Mhm.
And what's the new color, Laura?
This is pansy and sienna.
Got it. Okay, and that's Barbara too.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll get the mushroom and the,
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
needs this. This is really nice.
yeah, I'm surprised no one's got it. This is Janet. What was it? Mushroom and what?
Mulberry.
It's
Mulberry. Okay.
beautiful. You saved me from it.
Nobody saved me.
Or I'll try that with the tropical one.
Yeah? Who's gonna
Yeah.
do that?
Peggy.
Janet, what's your last name, please? Janet?
Janet, who just did mushroom mulberry?
Karlstrom.
Oh, good. I thought so. Thank you.
Okay, back to this one. I'm sorry, who is this?
For Peg, it's for Peggy
Aggie.
Cummins.
Yep.
There's another Peggy on there, so.
Well, we're down to greens.
Yeah.
They don't have
Oh,
to all
thi-
go.
So this is Barbara. I guess I noticed that there is another Barbara on it. I don't see my name. This is Barbara Fugleberg, not Barbara Rose.
Thank you.
Laura, what's the one with the brownish one? To your, yeah.
it's Twilight, which is a multicolor that has, you know, it's dark and subtle, and then mustard, which is that, you know, a real true goldy brown or
Well,
brown.
it might be fun.
I think this would be fabulous.
Beautiful. It'll
Okay.
be rich looking. It'll be regal or royal looking with the dark.
Yeah, it will. And that is Barbara Rose, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I've known you longer.
Well, I know your voice.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Because
well, it
with
only
that-
leaves us with two, and they may be the two, well, this may be the most boring one, and this may be the most, what is she thinking one? So I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Laura, before you hop off that bench, the last one was mustard and twilight, the very
Yeah,
last one.
Mustard and Twilight.
And that's Barbara Rose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank
Got it.
you. All right, you're free to hop.
Okay. Okay, now we're skipping 3 because I already did it. And we're going to 4. I just need to drink something for a little bit. Okay, again, give me just a moment to put these in their pairs in my fabulous Staples box so that I don't get them mixed up, even though I did record what each pair is. Nonetheless, let's make sure I stay. Oops, see, I already just did. Just did mix them up. Because I have a lot more samples. Here we go. Okay, so now we are on to, well, this is not going away. Plumette and Plume are our next features. Plume, there is a lot of plume already dyed and no plume left to be dyed. So one of the items we're going to show uses Plumette and Plume, and one just uses Plumette or Otter, and there's lots of that. So that's not going anywhere. So we'll start first with these. This is a Mobius cowl, but there's no reason for it to be a Mobius. Okay, do you all remember what a Mobius is? You know, it's an endless strip. You take a long piece of paper and you turn it half a turn and you tape it together, and then you draw on it. You just continue on. So a Mobius, when it's knitted, has that little half twist in it, and there it is. So this goes around and around and around, and boom, there's that little half twist right there. So I did this in the round as a Mobius, and it's ribbed, so it's double-sided. And then I realized that for a piece like this, there's just no reason for it to be a Mobius. Just none. Okay. First of all, most of us are not going to wear it like this. We're going to wear it like this. Which is this incredibly fabulous soft piece that if you're going out in the cold, can go around one more time and you feel like a Nordic princess with all your furs. And I am here to tell you that this, even though it's knitted and the wind can go through it, is warm enough to put over your ears and absolutely wind blocks your ears. So I happen to think it's pretty adorable. And the reason that I know that that works is because I've been caught in New York City in the winter without a hat. But I had a cowl on and I pulled it up over my ears. I'm like, oh, this is good. I can live with this. This is great. So I like this doubled or tripled. And so even though this is written as a Mobius, I would just do it in the round. Plume on each end and plumette in the middle. And it takes 3 plumette and 2 plumes. Now, there's not, like I said, there's not that much plume left. So I have a whole list of things that can be done again and can't be done again. So I'm going to show them to you. Now, those of, okay, so plumette, let's go back to this. Let me get up here and really show
You're
you.
gonna be so tired.
I love it. So plume is this long furry hair, and plumette is like cropped mink. Okay, they're both yarns that are on a chain base, and you just ignore them. You just knit with them like they're yarn, and then they do this wonderful thing. Now, they are so soft, and you can see by the way that it moves. They're so soft and so drapey that it is truly a luxury. So I have a whole list here, and plumette. Plumette is a very specific thing. It has a certain hair length, and back in the day, we got an entire shipment that we had to reject because the hair was too long. And it sat there forever. The mill didn't want it back. But it wasn't really mine. And finally I said, well, I'll pay you X amount of money for this whole batch of rejected stuff. And they were like, okay. So that I made into otter. So otter is substantially less expensive than plumette. Most of the multicolors that I have are in plumette. Otter is in much bigger hanks. So as I show you things, for instance, this is 3 plumettes and 2 plumes. This is 2 otters and 2 plumes because there's more yardage in here. Well, so there's actually more here than you need. So it all works out, and it's all the same price. It all works out in the wash. We do not have these individually on the website. So this is I'm going to say the color names as I put them all up, and then I'm going to come up close to the camera and show you what the colors really look like. Okay. So we have Aegean, and I'm just going to say, and I will say it again when I show them to you. There are some of these I can do multiples of. So we have Aegean, can do more of that. We have bark. That's it for bark. We have bittersweet, and I can do more of that. We have bittersweet with embers. So it's embers plume and bittersweet plumette. That's it for that. Denali, I can do more. Ebony, there is 1.
I'll take ebony.
Who's that?
Francine.
I will tell you all that this kit runs $110 so that you know. And for anybody who has not worked with this yarn, it is a delight. It's a delight to feel. So where Laura says it feels warm when you put it on, or it'll give you warmth, the fiber itself actually feels cool. It always does to me. I love both of these yarns.
Yeah, Carrie is right. It does have a coolness to it. So it's not like, you put wool on it and you immediately feel warm from it. This always feels silky cool.
Right.
When you need the warmth, it does block the wind and provide you with coziness. So there's 2 garnets. There's one that's a little bit redder and one that's a little bit bluer. And the bluer one I can do multiples of. We got some crazy ones. We have Harvest, which is lots of colors, and Lapis. Both of these I can do more of. Oh no, I cannot do more of the Lapis. That's it. The Lapis just went. The other Lapis plume just went. Mocha and Olivine, that's going to be very similar to what I'm wearing. Mustard and sagebrush, there are more of these. Oh, this is the mocha and olivine, and this is just plain olivine. See, this is got a little more brown in it. raspberry. Shale, a fabulous just
Right.
dark neutral, and there's more of this. Smoke. A lot of you know my colorway smoke. That's a really rich neutrally colorway. More of this. Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed with olivine plume. Woodlands, there's more of this. And 309 with Portofino. This is really pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do is clear a path. I'm going to come up and go through all of these closer to the camera. Is that right? My list near me. Okay. So Aegean, which is not as yellow as it looks on my screen.
This is Peggy. I'd like Aegean. I'm kind of into the greens right now.
Yeah. And I can do more of this.
It is gorgeous.
I can do another one if somebody wants one. So
We want to remind everybody too that we are writing your names down next to your colors and those things that you want, but you have to go online, please, to the website and order it and put in your notes what it is. So otherwise we'll be calling you.
Bark. Now this is a really interesting color. It really is brown with almost a warm purple undertone. Very pretty. It's the only one I have of this. This is bittersweet. It's kind of like a lighter version of bark. So it's rust with a rosy undertone. There's more of that one. So bittersweet plumette with embers plume. So you're getting some multicolor in the plume.
Can I get the embers? This is
Yep,
Peggy.
with that.
Peggy.
Peggy.
Peggy
Yep.
C.
Okay. Denali, which is, just lovely light neutrals. Very, very animal skinny looking.
For blonde, that's great.
Okay, so 2 garnets.
I want one of the garnets.
Okay, this one is sort of reddish, and this one's a little more bluish.
Bluish.
Bluish. And who is that?
Dolores.
Dolores. And there is another, I can do another one of this one, the bluish one.
I would like that, Francine.
Francine.
Okay.
Okay. If anybody's a little on the wild side, we've got Harvest.
That's cute.
Lapis. Oh no, I can do. I think I can do this again. Lapis is an interesting color. It's almost a khaki undertone, so it's a little warm undertone with a bluish gray over it, which makes some very interesting interim colors.
This Teresa, I'll take the lapis.
Then we've got mocha with olivine. So this is really mocha, which is warm, yellowy, goldy brown with olivine, which has just a bit of olive in it, versus straight olivine. And okay, there's only one of this, only one raspberry.
I'll take it, Francine.
And I have more of these. This is shale. shale being a dark gray. It's a taupe, so it's a dark taupe, but it's a layers color. So you have parts that are browner and parts that are grayer. And smoke, of course, smoke be smoke.
That's pretty.
And tumbleweed plumette with olivine plume. And, oh, I missed this one. Mustard and sagebrush.
That's pretty.
And woodlands. And last but not least, Portofino and 309.
I'll do a woodlands, Laura. It's
Okay.
Peggy. Peggy C.
Okay. Okay.
Could I see that? Could I see that multicolor one again, the bright one?
Mm-hmm. Harvest.
It's fun.
What colors are in that?
So this is one of my most complex colors. This has a strong gold. It has a rust, a magenta, a teal, an olive, and a violet.
This is our wild girl.
Okay.
There, now it's letting me talk to you. I will take that one too.
And I'm sorry.
Francine.
Oh, Francine. I just can't recognize all the names. Barbara Rose I have known for 25 years. her voice I can recognize, but not necessarily everyone else. Although Francine, I'm coming to recognize your voice.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or could I see the smoke and shale kind of together?
Yeah.
The one looks kind of purpley.
Yeah, the smoke has purple in it, plum. Plum and gray, just a little bit of taupe, a little bit of blue
I'll
gray.
take the smoke. I'll take the smoke.
Who's that?
Mary Ellen.
Hey.
What were the harvest? I think they were harvest. They were purpley ones. There was a bluey purple and another purple.
Garnet.
Garnet.
So there was a
Garnet.
bluey, yeah, a bluish one, and then there's this one, which is a little bit redder.
And then is there lapis?
Lapis, yes, lapis. Lapis got.
Oh, is that your only one?
But I think it's marked that I can do another one, so I think I can. This is lapis.
You do another smoke.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'll take a smoke. It's Jill.
Okay.
The bark color is really interesting. Is
Which
it?
one? The bark. It is.
Bark.
It is an interesting color.
It's another one of those colors that looks a little bit royal or regal.
Yeah, it does.
Can you hold it against your black?
Well, okay. Hang on. I'm just going to get closer because.
Come close.
Because, there we go. So I have on a pair of fake suede pants. Just look at them. This is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're similar color. That's what I.
Very similar color.
And these are really, I would call these plum, but this bark looks fantastic with it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually very interesting because this looks better. This is plum and it doesn't look as good with it.
Right.
Right.
So this is like perfect for this pair of pants.
Smoky.
So it's Teresa. I think I'll take that one.
Bark. Okay.
Bark for Teresa. Okay.
Okay.
Laura, we're kind of getting to our time allotment here.
Okay. Well, the last one's really easy. So let me do it real quickly.
Okay.
Because the colors are all on the site. So you can, I don't even really have to show them to you. I'll just show you the garment.
Okay.
And if you want to, you can, if you like it, you can go to the,
Yes, it's all on the website. So
so this is also a Mobius, but here's a place where the Mobius matters. But in this case, you're just making a rectangle, putting a half twist in it, and then creating your own Mobius. And this is just plumat that is worked in a yarn over knit two together. Actually, it's yarn over purl two together. Or if you knit like I do, yarn over SSK. But
Super fast knit.
So you do yarn over knit purl two together. It's just on a big needle. It took me like 2 evenings to make. It's very drapey. Actually, I'll show you the light one because it'll show up better on my dark shirt here. So in this case, the Mobius makes sense because if you put it on like this, it's flat. See how flat it is? You know, if you put on something that isn't a Mobius, it's like this. Whereas this is flat. Okay, so it can do that. If you're cold, you know, it can really come over your shoulders. If you just want it to look like a scarf, it can look like a scarf, or it can be a cowl because it doubles up really well. And again, boy, it's just so soft and so comfortable.
Yeah.
And so this is a layers color. So it's not dead flat. It's got some lights and darks and a little bit of color in it. And this is a true multicolor. This is embers. So you can see that there's more interest in it, but because of the open work, it breaks up the stitching, the patterning quite a bit. And you actually can do all kinds of crazy things with it if you want to, but I like it just like this on my shoulders or doubled up like this. And this isn't going anywhere. We've got lots and lots and lots of it. It takes 4 skeins of plumat or 2 skeins of otter. And there are some otter variations in there. There's a little limited color coordination of otter. Wait, I'll just show you that. Well, maybe I will. I thought I had them. I do. I have them somewhere. I don't know where they are. All right. Well, there's a few colors of otter, but you can always. Oh, I'll show you where they are. Hang on. I know exactly where they are. Because they're just
while Laura is digging away, I just want to remind you all that we really do appreciate you being here with us. We appreciate you staying with us. You know, this it's been a wonderful Zoom. It's been long and you've stayed with us. You know, I mean, Laura captivates all of our interests and whatnot. So we're so appreciative of all of you, and we're most appreciative of Laura. So
thanks, Fontel. So here are the colors that are in otter, which is really a deal because Fontel, remind me what it is if it's in otter. 2 skeins of otter, so it's $48.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's denim, Pinot Noir, Aegean, and Alpine in otter. Everything else is in plumat, but it's still a pretty good deal in plumat because I've discounted it a little bit. So there we are.
So again, everything pretty much is on the website, but if you don't see something, just pick up the phone or shoot me an email. As Laura said, there are some things, if you want something very specific or very particular, just let us know, you know, if you want it lighter or darker or a different mix. I mean, that's the beauty of Laura and Prism, that we can make custom things for you just to fit your palette. So, all right, any questions at all, anybody?
If there's
Just one-
something that we have seen tonight that we still want to order, would you prefer that we go online or do you want to hold it for us now?
What would you like?
Well, I do want to do that rib tea,
I don't believe.
and I need 8 skeins, and I think I was just trying to decide on the colors.
You can do
I
that.
think I'm
online.
I'm sorry.
You can do that online. We don't need to do that tonight. Then you
I
can.
don't, okay.
Yeah, you can really think about that. That's not
Y-
the only
And
thing.
so what you've pulled for us tonight, though, we still need to order, and then it will be there.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
absolutely.
So while you're
Okay.
on there, you can look at the other colors
bet.
for the things.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. All right.
Laura, would
Okay, hi, Fontel. This
Laura,
is Mary Ann. Could I get the topper in number 6? I believe that was not spoken for.
And what suggestions does everybody
Number 6.
have to substitute for stitches this year? What is your recommendations?
Boy, oh boy. Come
What
and
we're
cruise
doing
with
right now.
us.
Oh yeah, come and cruise with
Come
us.
and cruise with
We're
us.
gonna go to Hawaii.
Well, yeah, I
we
know,
went,
but that,
we went to New York to Vogue.
Yeah.
That was lots of fun.
uh-huh.
You
It's
know-
in January though, right?
No kidding. I remind me who's
Who wanted
picking
the
up
topper?
tumbleweed?
I'm sorry.
Who just wanted the topper in color tumbleweed?
Oh,
Mary Ann,
Marianne.
that's it right there, Laura.
Do you a sweater that I altered on your patterns?
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? I just wanted to show her a sweater.
Ah,
Yeah, that's the one, Laura.
Yeah.
That's number
okay,
6.
so yes, there's number 6. So who's that going to?
Marianne.
Mary Ann. I'll place an order and put a note on it.
perfect. Thanks, Marianne.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
That's pretty.
Laura, I also want the pattern for that 3/4 sweater, the vest.
Just put a
cocoa.
note in with it.
Okay, I have no idea what, but you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Coco a Go-Go.
Just call it the new cocoa.
New Coco.
The new cocoa.
Oh. That was the one I did order, I think.
It's got a little different front edge, so we were supposed to decide what to call it, Fontel and Carrie. We never did, but new cocoa isn't bad.
Or 3/4 cocoa. Half cocoa.
All right. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments?
How about just a thank you for this? I was in committee hearings from 9 until 4:45. This was such
Yeah.
a treat.
Oh,
Oh my
good.
God.
Jill, we're so glad you joined us.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, I've loved it because I've missed so many of you.
We're so glad to see you too. Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh.
I hope I can stay with you.
Absolutely. So,
We have to start talking to Laura about maybe another event next year. Right, Laura?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
don't
Great.
you
glad
need
you're
to go
smiling.
someplace in the middle of the country and then we'll all just come to you.
No,
How about that?
There's always that.
there, you know what? We're always
Or
open
we
to
could,
conversation, for sure.
Come to her.
yeah, we could
Yeah,
come
we
to
need another
Petersburg.
warehouse run, Laura.
St.
Well,
Petersburg is fabulous.
just so everyone knows that for those of you who were here in the warehouse before, so some things have gone down, but in a good way, so that I'm actually been able to really consolidate on shelves. So it's much easier to see everything now. It's much more organized and much more easy to shop.
And clearly we need to go there.
We're happy to come and have our own opinion of that.
Yeah, we'll get you to that. So,
All right, we'll talk.
all right, everybody. Again, don't hesitate, just email us, call, whatever. And again, thank you so much for joining us. And Laura, thank you for your time and all of your talents and all of these wonderful things that you've shown us.
Yep.
So
Thank
all right.
you.
Be healthy.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
you.
much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.